How's it going, everybody? This is Old Man Crunchy. I decided not to do a video this time. Not really for particularly any reason. So, just figured I'd do this just maybe for my own pleasure. I don't know. So, I am currently figuring out, I'm calibrating the table, if you will. These areas that I'm hitting seem to be they just happen pretty often in my world. I don't know how everybody else's game is, but so originally I'm kind of doing like sort of a lag situation, but this time, and it helps me kind of understand the rails at like a slower pace. This kind of tells me how the table's going to roll. I'm not testing every inch of the table, but just different places where I notice like a lot of different things happen. So I'm also practicing my lag here. Maybe that'll come up, but in a match, like if you're doing APA or something like that. So you can see this ball kind of rolling a little bit farther over. So yeah, an APA might come in handy. I'm over here testing a little bit of just kind of how the kicks roll, or at least the rails roll, because sometimes these will pop up. Okay, if you slow roll it, it'll end this far over if we're hitting just testing the table basically. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to start getting into the game here a little bit. Not really the game, but I'm just kind of figuring out my shot. So I'm basically doing break and runs. This is a little thing that I learned from somebody in Florida. Just set up a rack, and doesn't matter where the balls go, and try and make them all in. And I'm not like the perfect shot. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy that runs like 100-something balls, but I'm a little careless. I am trying to make the balls, but I'm a little careless because sometimes you'll just run into situations in a game where you hit a ball and it rolls too far, or full ball, half ball hits with speed. I'm just kind of testing these things out, so trying to get used to it. So here's a shot. When you're jacked up over the ball, just kind of practicing different things. And then after this game, or not this one, but I'll probably do one more rack of this and then go into 15 ball rotation. When we get there, I'll get there. So explaining this table a little bit, there's a little bit of clutter and trying to navigate it. So in this instance, maybe I could clean up over on the left side of the table, but maybe I might go for this 10. I think I did include some of my little text drawings, if you will. So this is kind of goofy because I'm going to end up bumping into the 3. Probably would have been a little bit better if it moved over a little bit more, but I don't really want to do any of these combos. I just kind of want to learn how to navigate the table a little bit. So maybe I could kind of head down there using the 5 off of this 4. And that went in a little goofy. I don't think that would have went in on a diamond table. Or maybe it would have. I don't know. I don't play on diamonds too often. Okay, so I went for the 5 and then try and do a little breakout. Had I hit it harder, it would have just... It's hard to tell if you hit it relatively hard off of a rail where the balls are going. So this is a good spread here. I had an opportunity to be able to break it out. I've got this one here, and looks like I want to try and get the middle of the table a little bit more cleared up. I think I probably wanted the 3 a little bit better so that way I could shoot either of the center balls into the left or the top right corner, but I shot the, what was that 14 into the bottom right corner. That's an intimidating shot. That's telling me that's something that I should work on. My aim's not totally there. It was a smaller pocket, so that's kind of an aiming test right there. Even though I missed it, I probably could have ran this table in a load of different ways, but this is just like a practice routine for myself anyway. So this looks like a pretty easy run out. 15, then 3. Drinking the cheapest of the beers. I've got my Busch Light over here that I'm watching this video with. And see, that's a hard shot for some people when the ball is frozen to the rail like that, and then hitting it maybe at that speed or with spin. Maybe one of those will pop up, but we'll see. I feel like the rack was a little loose there. There wasn't a whole lot of travel with the rack, so looks like I'm shooting for the 4. Yeah. All right, do a little breakout. That one didn't really get too far into the way, but I need to be pretty much where the 15 is right now to get shape for that 5. Or I could sort of break it out from there. That didn't help because of the line that the 1, 2, and 5 are. But if I could get the 2 out of there, then maybe we could talk about doing the 1 into the top right corner or doing a combo. I haven't added any drawings or anything to this section of the video. We're just kind of learning the table together. Okay, so here's my chance at that 2. Can't hit it too hard. If you hit it too hard, and this is a speed test right here. Okay, maybe I don't want to go for the 1 then. Maybe I just wanted to test how that rail moves. This is a problem ball because the 6 wants to go into that corner too without having to rely on a bank. Now a smart shot here would, if I could see the 1, or the 9. I think it would be better to shoot the 9 because it opens up more space for the 5. Not too bad. Probably could have gotten a little better on that 14. If I am going to shoot any one of those balls, which one would be the correct one? And again, even if you made the 8 ball early, like, there is no point to this game. It's just kind of learning the shot. So I went for the 14, and that is kind of a weird angle to hit that in, so that just tells me that that's another shot that I probably need to work on. Because I kind of like where, like, I can shoot the 3 in, which I did, but I don't know. I probably could have done something with that 5. Maybe I saved it so that way I can try this combo. Let's see how I do. And I overcut it. Probably just a hit problem. Shooting a ball on the rail kind of throws off some things. So now the question is, does the 1 go into a particular corner, or does it require breakout? And it looks like I already did the breakout. I don't know if that was intentional, but not a very fun spot to be in, because if you were to shoot the 14, you would be jacked up on the ball. That was pretty close to scratching, just to keep note of. So I just whacked at it. Now it seems a little bit easier of a table to try and work on. That 14's pretty open, so I probably want to take it at some point. This checks because the 1 moves a little bit closer to a pocket, and it keeps me keeps my position with the 14. I could take the 5, but I'm running away from the line. I think even if that 6 touched the 14, it would have been... I still would have had shape on the 14. Something was going to go into that pocket. Unless if I hit it too light and then the 6 blocks it, but that could leave another chance for a combo. So that's kind of a hard shot for me. Hitting the ball in such a way with a certain amount of speed to get it off the table like that. And I'm starting to learn the difference between a bar box and a 9-footer. So we're getting into 15 ball here. Basically, you rack them up. I rack them up anyway, with the 1 in the front and then the 15 in the middle. Break them and then see what goes in. Regardless, no matter the outcome, it's ball in hand. So basically, here's your layout. Now try and run them out. That's the goal anyway. So I'm going to try and make this 1 off of the 10. Doesn't quite get there. I did add drawings to this at some point. I don't know when they're up. Hit the 1. It may collide with the 4 or make the 4 in. Got a little squirrely on this 2. And I can't hit it light enough to go in and have like relatively good shape on the 3. So I figured if I try and keep the cue ball on that side of the table, like parallel to the 5, then that's an ideal place to put it. So looks like I get stuck. So this is a chance for me to kind of work on banks and utilizing the rail. So I have a weird angle here, so obviously I'm going to try and add a little spin and kind of study the table a little bit. And I just missed touching it by, I don't know, maybe a half a ball, which isn't too bad. So hard to remember when you're in the middle of a game coming up against something like that, because if you get used to it, like with the repetition, it works out. Otherwise, it's a form of you being able to use the rails. So this is kind of my intended path. I do want to get good shape onto the 6, so we'll see how I play this. And I come up a little short, but you kind of see the idea. As long as I'm able to see the 6, this is like the worst case scenario. So here I am getting essentially into a safety battle with myself. Basically, my goal is to just hit the 6. If I could plan out how to hit the 6, here the idea is to hit the rail in such a way that it contacts I think it's the 13. If the 13 goes in, great, but that 6 is going to travel on one side of the table, and the cue is going to travel on the opposite side of the table. So this is a good little spot because I get to either try and make something or play a safety on myself. So let's see what I do. Alright, trying to make the shot. I don't see the 7 past the 9, so I kind of have to swerve here. Now, in a normal game, I probably wouldn't want to take that 6. I probably would have wanted to just play safe with it. There's a lot of places to hide, but that's a good shot to try and learn from that angle. I did make contact with the 7, so here's my chance. This is kind of my intended path. It does require a huge hit because it's so full of a ball. And then I lucked out trying to make that. There's no real point system to this. It's just try and run out all the balls. Just whacking balls around, really. Okay, so I have the 8 into the bottom right corner, and it's going to collide with something. The cue ball is going to collide with something and bring me up table. But the 9 is my next ball. So now it looks like I could either cut it into the side or shoot it into the bottom left corner. Bottom left corner seems to be the most ideal spot. Roll it up for shape on the 10. The 12 is on the bottom left side, or sorry, the bottom right side, so the 11 is closer to the top side pocket, so it was kind of hard getting shape onto the 11, but that's kind of a critical shot to work on and master, so I basically get to do it again. These balls all seem pretty connected. So now this ball came a little too straight. I don't want to get onto the rail with the cue ball, so that was the best way to play it, but with that speed and that much action, kind of throws off your aim a little bit. This is just a rail tester. I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways to go about this ball, but learning speed, learning the rails, learning the spin, and how it interacts with the rail. Okay, so on to the next rack. A little bit better of a break. Things got spread out a little bit more until more balls started coming back over to the table, or to that side of the table. So like I said, it's ball in hand, and now this is a good time to drop back and become parallel with the 2, because that seems like a relatively easy shot to draw back over for the 3. And so I thought that that shot was BS, so I'm going to do it again. It wasn't exact, but I know what I'm trying to do. So, like I said, get a little parallel with it and try and draw it back for shape onto the 3. It works, and that was, well, it doesn't really work, but that was basically just straight bottom. Maybe with a hair right or outside, I suppose. And that's how it reacted to the table or the rail, so that tells me something. There was a little practice at a kick shot, so it went a little thin. So hitting it that hard tells me that I need to hit a little thinner on the rail. You could see my frustration. Alright, so I created a pile here, and the 7 is involved. Meanwhile, the 5 is pointing at the 8 or the 13, so making this is relatively critical. It's not critical because, it's just me. But I think my intent there was to go for the bank, because maybe the 9 was blocking my ability to make it into the top left corner, so obviously I hit it a little thin. So I'm trying to aim a little thin here to widen it, and that was with outside spin. And outside spin counteracts the immediate rail from the object ball that you hit. So it makes it land thinner. Still trying to map this out in my head. Like, as I play the game, I just kind of see it. So here's an opportunity for a breakout, but I do need to make something and have shape for something else. So that 5 needs to either make 13 or the 8. Looks like 13. I nudged that, I think it's the 15 a little bit, but I did kind of get tucked. So now I need to try and billiard something off the 8, onto the 8. And the 8 did not go. So this is a stun shot right here. I'm intending on making the 8, and I see an angle to do that, so I'm going to try and hit it. And I thought that was relative. See, and that's one of those shots where if you're used to doing that shot, sometimes the table and the felt have something to do with it. I don't know if any other people pay attention to it, but yeah. So I'm just writing stuff over here. I did this a while ago, and I don't know what I was doing. But this is kind of my routine if you want to go back and kind of try and watch it. I'm seeing where the 5 ball needs to go, and it needs to go into that corner pocket. And there's a particular angle that I can hit this ball to where it goes in, or a range of it. So I'm trying to achieve that with shape. And you can tell that I missed it because, you know, with how much of the ball, which is on the top right, that I see, the rail is blocking a part of the view. So you're jacked up a little bit. You're intending on putting spin to hit a certain part of the table to hit that 5, and there's just a lot going on, but it didn't really work. But I think you can tell that as I navigate each ball, obviously things are probably going to move depending on your style of play, I've learned. And just kind of planning one step ahead. Usually making one ball isn't too hard. It's planning the next move that makes it a little bit easier to play the game. So I think this was intentional because the 8 ball was clearly in there and I could see a line, but getting back over to that 9 was essential. And it likes to escape you. So, and here I am looking at being able to hit the 9, and I'm telling myself it's not going to go, but I'm going to see how far I can make it go. And that's how far I can make it go. So I'm just proving to myself that this is why I can't hit that ball. What happens after, though, is the interesting part, because it didn't scratch either. And see, I came across that same shot with the 8 ball, so I'm still trying to figure out, because I shot it a little differently, why that ball isn't going the direction that I want it to. That was a pretty close kick. That was a 2-rail kick. I like the result of it. I think if I hit it a little thinner, I probably could have hit the 14 and the cue ball could have slowed down for the 11. But this is what I have now. Doing something a little different, and I think it was about the same angle. So, but the other ball wasn't really, which ball was that, the 14 or something? It was kind of in the way, so it took away my ability to do that. So I had to put a little bit of bottom there and see what happens. So here I am coming across this same shot basically, but from a longer distance. And I've already, fooled me once, fooled me twice. This one now is the 4th time, so it fooled me 3 times. And here's this shot again. I was able to drop back with a lighter hit. I didn't need to get that position, but it's good that I'm able to at least do that. So at faster speeds, I need to work on that. And that's a good testament for it, because typically I think if somebody else shot that, it probably would have scratched. And then I come up on the 15 and I said, screw it. It's all good. I know I could have made that 15, but I didn't feel like it this time. So I think by here we've gotten kind of used to the game, or not the game, but the practice thing. So now I'm just kind of putting it all to the test. Now we can tell that this 2-ball is going to be kind of, well, it's going to be easy to get to, but there's such a small margin to hit the 2, the 3, and then get onto the 4, and then figure out what to do with the 6. You could just kind of visualize that pattern. It's just staring at me. So this is, it's going to, and this is why. If it was a little straighter, I think I could have just put top on there. But I'm incorporating the rail at a slower speed because I need to get to the 4 just right. And it looked like I was trying to get to the 4 to go for a potential breakout on the 6. So now I'm forced to kick this, and I need to hit the rail first. And I just missed it by what looks like probably a ball's width. Now the 6 moved, and the whole layout is now completely different, and I'm still on the 4. And I think it's those actions of why my 8-ball game is struggling, because it is. 9-ball, it's much easier. I can make all these balls pretty much all day with some misses here and there, but 8-ball is very particular. I bumped it out. Well, here's a chance for a bank. Every other time it's been a kick. So, just doing my thing. Now I do need to hit it a little wider, especially since I'm kind of jacked up on the ball. It hits a little thinner. And I think you could tell that I attempted it. But it goes in anyway, so. If I could touch the 9, that's what I need to do. But this 8-ball should go in off of the 10. I think that's what I decided. And I think if that 8 didn't hit that 15, I'd probably have to put myself against another bank with the 9. But I think what I saw was a kick. A close to the rail kick into the side. Because the 10 is on the first diamond away from the side on the bottom. So here's another kick, and I got a little bit better at that one. The circumstances were a little different, but it was essentially the same shot. Now I'm going for a 1-rail bank here, but I see what's happening, so I'm just going to hit it. And I think what I saw was that 15, or it caraming or whatever off the 15 into the corner. Low chance shot, low probability. That, however, was a higher probability, but had the 11 gone in, it would have made my situation better. In regards to the 9, we're still focused on the 9. This is where my mind goes. And see, I hit it too hard. I was trying to make that 11, but have some type of shape on the 8. So now I'm going to kick at this again, and if the 8 can go into the 9, that works, because I'm trying to break it out. The 9 is a little bit more blocked up, but this is a breakout right here. See, we're not even trying to make the 8. We're just trying to develop the balls right now because we know everything's screwed up. So if I could make something, it would probably be the 10, and this is the route that I would probably take. The 9's broken out, and the 12 is in a goofy spot. So here it's going to be kind of weird to get there, so I need to hit off this 9. And that's where the 9 goes if you do that. So I'm a little surprised that that shot worked out. I must have hit the rail just right to do that, because I did put some inside spin on it so that way it could hit the top long rail, but not quite. So this is the route that I'm planning to take to hit the 12 anyway, or get position on it. It does look like the 12 goes into that top left corner, and this is a weird shot that really doesn't get utilized enough. So if that popped up in a game, that would be the result of it. Again, that just tells me that I need to work on some of those harder cuts. I mean, there's a lot going on right there. There was the 14 was involved, and the rail, and getting shape for the 13. And that was a high-speed shot. Had the 12 not been there, I would have had gotten pretty dang close to that 11. So I had another situation like that earlier in this little session. So, and look at that, straight luck. See? I just kind of failed at that shot. For me, that's a weak shot for me. Long shot on the rail while the 9 is close to the rail. I think that's probably a hard shot for a lot of people. You could see kind of playing around a little bit, trying to control the ball a little bit more. I don't know if this is the last rack, but I think there might be one more. We'll see. We're getting closer towards the end, people, so it's all good. There you go, it's ball in hand. Not really an easy rack here. There's a little bit less clutter. It's a little more spaced out, and I think less balls are closer to the right short rail. So probably want better positioning on the 2. So I'm gonna here's a shot you don't see too often. I'm banking the 2 into the 9. And you see I hit the same spot when I came across a similar bank. I don't remember, maybe last rack, but there's some consistencies there. So now getting to the 3, there requires a lot of draw. So let's see how I do. Probably put a little outside on there just to kind of widen it, but I didn't want to widen it that much. So what I should have done is probably just straight drew it. Don't put any spin on there at all. I don't think the 2 goes. Well, it could, but if it does, then this breakout is a little weird. I think I would have been happier if I could have at least seen the 3. I think I could see the 3, but it might just put me into a scratch territory. So let's kick at it. Okay, I think the breakout was intended, but I don't have a shot on the 3, so this is kind of the intended path. I have to kick out a ball at a particular, I had to do this with 2 rails, so, and I think it came up a little wide, so I hit it a little long that time. Well, it's make a mold now, so the weird part is going to be the 5 because it's in the middle, and getting to that side after the 4 is going to be kind of difficult with the 9 being where it is. So I think I'm kind of forcing myself to take this combo. And you can kind of see the line there too. But the question is, where's the 5 going to go? But first we got to make this 4. Okay. So this is kind of where I want the 14 to go, assuming the 15 goes in. Not really sure where the 5 is going to go, but I know the cue ball is going to go down that way. And there's enough space from the 5 and the side pocket to go in, and I'm just checking to make sure that it goes this way. Gets pretty close. That means I'm learning something. So the 6 takes me to the 7, and I think I hit that a little far, but I forget what it's called. Basically it's a stun, but like squaring the stun. Stop shot. This is one of those choice making shots. You could either put top on it and hit it hard enough to where it hits 1 rail or goes 2 rails. So a stop shot would be good here, just to hold the ball for the 10. Maybe it would have gotten on the rail and given me a weird angle, so that's why I put top on it, because this is a better side to be on for the 10, especially to get shape on the 12. Probably have to hit the rail to get on the better side of the 12. There you go. I don't think I did that intentionally. I think if it hit the 15, it would have been fine because I hit it hard enough. So, but anyway, this is kind of how I practice people. So hope you enjoyed it, and I got some cool stuff coming up. So stick around for that. Peace.